Hello. Howdy, hi, welcome. Come on in. I'm just excited for Mario Kart. And so I was like, Waluigi. Thoughts of Waluigi. So I think I want to draw Waluigi. Yes, and I actually remembered to hit start stream this time. It's so embarrassing. Here's the thing about Waluigi. You see a lot of people try to pretty up Waluigi. You see a lot of people draw like a handsome, like anime man with just like kind of a long nose. And it's like, and his mustache, and it's like, that's not Waluigi. If you are a fan of Waluigi, you're a fan of this freak. With all his freak weird features. His nose is the hardest one to deal with. Cause like, why is it all pink like that? But that's alright. So yeah, outside of drawing Waluigi, no plans. I might draw more Waluigis. I don't know. I might just make one Waluigi really good. We'll have to see. Oh wait, I've got a much better idea. A much harder one as well, but that's okay, it'll be worth it. I went in with no thoughts outside of draw Waluigi. So we're really playing it by ear. That head's too big. I always draw heads too big. I'm always like, that's a head, and then I draw like a teeny weeny neck, and just... So I usually have to go in and like fix head sizes. I don't know all that much about Mario lore. Is there a Wa Peach and a Wa Daisy? No, there were plans of them showing up. But they fell through. So no Wa Peach, no Wa Daisy. People want a Wa... Oh, no, we're all on one layer. That's unfortunate. Yeah, people want Wa Peach and Wa Daisy for pretty obvious reasons. Nope. No such existence. Unfortunately. I bet they'd be dummy popular. That's the thing. Let's make this like really like... We're doing Waluigi, so it means you gotta kind of be a freako about everything. In terms of proportions. Bonus fact, since you don't know that much about Mario lore, Waluigi and Wario, not related. They just know each other. They just know each other and both look like that. There we go. This other one's a little too gangly freako. Hello, hi, welcome. Come on in. Oh, hola twins de la Tinta. I don't know what de la Tinta means. Are you calling me tiny? Tiny twins? Because I'm in the corner, all smushed over here, so I don't cover up my screen too much. Ah, color palette, you'll care. I think you were in the Infinity Nikki kind of community, I think. Well, if not, either way, I'm going to tell you all anyway. So I booted up Infinity and Nikki for the first time in a while yesterday, and I thought I was gonna, pop in and, wear some outfits, run around. Everything had gone crazy. I start up the game, and Nikki, like, terastalizes. Her heart explodes, and that shatters the sky. She wakes up next to, basically, the shadow of Erdtree from Elden Ring. She's clearly evil. Some clearly evil woman descends and brings Nikki into like a black hole, and she's like, I destroyed the world that you used to know. And I was like, what the fuck is happening? I only stopped playing, I think it was March. So around a month and a half so much has happened. I like the pretty dresses could do without more gachas. You know, that's true. And I'm planning on making a follow-up video at some point, because I've got my video calling Infinity Nikki the real Genshin killer, which is mostly just because that's a great title. They are not similar. But I'm planning on doing a follow-up video at some point, because I don't know, I think that'd be nifty. And part of that follow-up will absolutely be commenting on the gachas, and this isn't unique to Infinity Nikki, but like, they're just so ass. Like, I was thinking about it this morning, actually. If you like an outfit and you want multiple colors, you need to get dupes of that outfit specifically. You don't just collect dupe points from doing any old gachas. You need multiples of that specific set, and you need the full set. Pretending, let's go with an example where your full set has 9 pieces. That's pretty common. That's an average piece count. And you want the third color option. So you got the default color, and then the second color option, and then the third color option. And you really like the third version, specifically. So, assuming you get lucky, and you get 1 piece of the full set, 1 out of that 9, for every gacha you do. So you do a gacha, you get 1 piece of it. You do a second gacha, you get another piece of it. That does not always happen. Sometimes you'll pull from a gacha and you get no pieces from the fancy new outfit you want. And I don't think I've ever gotten 2 of an outfit. Like 2 pieces of an outfit. So assume you get lucky and you get all the pieces in 9 gacha pulls. Okay, so and it takes 10, we're gonna do math. So you get all 9 pieces in the 9 gacha pulls. And it takes 10 crystals per gacha pull. And so, in order to get those 9 gachas successfully, that's 90 pieces. 90. In a world where I don't know where the fuck you get more. I don't know. There are 2 different types of gems. There's normal gems and special gems, and the special ones are for the limited gachas, and seemingly you can't get them anywhere. Either of them. I don't understand why we have different gacha types when, like, they're not adding anything to the permanent gacha pool. And so what's the fucking point? But anyway, so if you want that third outfit color palette, you need that full set 3 times. So, and let's pretend you get lucky for all of this time. And every gacha you pull, you get another piece of your set successfully. And you do get that third color that you wanted. In order to do that, that would be 9 times 3 is 27. And 27 times 10 for for your gemmies is 270 gems. And that's only if you are lucky. You are more likely going to need somewhere in the 350 range, because you don't always get every piece. But even if you are lucky and you do, that's still 270 gems that, again, I don't know where you get more outside of paying for them. And that's only if you want 1. Banners always come with multiple outfits and multiple banners at the same time. If you want both of the 5 stars, and you want all of their color palettes as well, multiply that by 2. And we get, ooh, hang on, I need to actually do math. 0, 14, 4, 5, that's 540. Assuming you are the most lucky person on planet Earth as well. And I'm just like, and it's just lame and dumb, especially because there just seems to be no efficient way to get these resources. And I can't help but compare to Project Sakai. the gacha I play the most consistently because it's just a fun game. I'm not playing it for the gacha part. The gacha's, you know, exciting, but I can download the PNG of any card I like, you know? But you compare that to Project Sekai, they only have the one currency. And basically everything you do gets you some of that currency. You play a song, a new song comes out. If you full combo it on hard, extreme, and master, like all those different difficulties, you can get gems for full comboing it. You get gems for S ranking it. You get gems for doing your daily like song, like little challenge song. You get gems for upgrading characters. You get gems for reading the story. You get gems for reading the side stories. You get these for doing everything in the game. The game wants you to play it and rewards you with the currency you need to do the gachas. And hang on, I need water. Like I said, there's only the one currency. So if you want to save up for limited gachas, like me, you can. If you're not interested in those, and you just want every gacha that features your favorite character, limited or permanent, you can do that too. And here's the best part, is with Project Sekai, the duplicates work across the board. You get a card you weren't hoping for. Oh man, I didn't want this Rui card. I was hoping I would get the Tsukasa card instead. Well, I guess I've got it anyway. And then you get a dupe of Rui, you get another one? That doesn't matter. That gets transferred into its own special currency that you can use to upgrade any card. In so many gachas, if you want to upgrade, oh man, I want my Tsukasa, I've got this special Tsukasa card. Did I spell that right? Tsukasa, yes. I've got the special Tsukasa card, it's my favorite, and I want to get the second outfit. In order to do that, I need to upgrade Tsukasa. And I got this dupe of Rui. So I can use that dupe of Rui to upgrade my Tsukasa and get the special color that I wanted. So meaning dupes suddenly no longer like feel like a total waste of a pull. Yeah, and I've mentioned this before, how in Genshin Impact, I've got so many fucking Barbaras. I've gotten more Barbaras than anything else in my entire life. And I don't care about Barbara. But I have to use her because I've gotten so many dupes of her that it's like, well, she's the strongest one I've got. But in Project Sekai, I get to use dupes to upgrade the cards that are my favorites instead. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just, there are ways to make gachas actually player-friendly. And, Hoyoverse and Infold, which are, of course, Genshin Impact. And then Infold handles Infinity Nikki and Love and Deep Space. They seem to just not care about making things user-friendly. Let's figure out how the fuck to draw Waluigi's face. This man has a lot of chin. Getting Mass Effect 3 flashbacks. If you wanted to customize the different aliens in a class, you needed to collect all the other races in the class. Ugh. But yeah. That's why you dropped the MTG arena. What are you all up to at this hour? I'm complaining about gachas and drawing Waluigi. So yeah, having a great time doing it too. What? It's just it's a bummer, isn't it? I feel like gacha games are so popular right now. And I worry that they kind of just ruin how people feel about normal video games. And fuck, I've chosen a really difficult angle to draw this head shape. And I think about Animal Crossing. It's so fucking hilarious. Animal Crossing New Horizons. They abandoned the game. It's abandoned. No, it's finished. They're not updating it anymore because it's done. There is nothing else. They're not adding anything else to the game. It's not because it's abandoned. It's because it is a finished game. Like, and I do blame gachas for stupid fools having that kind of mentality. And I know that sounds harsh and mean, and it's because I'm focusing on art. But yeah, it's abandoned. Do you think do you think Tears of the Kingdom is abandoned? Do you think Elden Ring is abandoned? No, they're done. I always loved his random elf ears. I know, right? I think it's because he's evil. I think that's the implication. Evil people equal sharp ears. So, yeah, I agree. And if you want to know, I've chosen Waluigi because, again, I'm really excited for Mario Kart, and Waluigi is one of the two that I am juggling as being my main racer. It's either gonna be him or Birdo. But yeah, that's what's been going on with me. I'm like, I gotta play more Infinity and Nikki just because they really have pulled me in with this crazy plot. Like, I'm like, I have no idea what's happening. And I want to know. What's Waluigi's hair look like under the hat? Does it just kind of go to the side? Cow, though? If I wanted to play as a cow, I'd just, I was trying to set up for a your mom joke. But then, one, I didn't want to disrespect you and your mom. And two, I failed. I failed the setup. I'm looking at Waluigi. Okay, yeah, it looks like his hair just kind of goes to the side. Alright. Does the tennis... Yes, I had googled the tennis outfit. Well, actually, I just googled Waluigi. I remembered seeing him in a tennis outfit. So, hooray. I like his big sideburn things. I'm so into how we used to have characters. Like, you could see it with, like, Link a lot. And, you know, it'd be like an old school anime. So they'd have eyes kind of like this, you know? And then another eye. Hang on. Let me put too much effort into this little example. You know, then they'd have their eyes. And a nose that's like that. And then, like, you know, an anime mouth, which is just kind of a mouth, as it were. And then they'd have their ears, and in this example, it's like Link or whatever. And over here's the other side of their head. And their hair did two things. First step, it always was like this. If they faced forward, it still went to a side. And two, they had these things. Big ass side frocks. And then yeah, you got like Link. Wow, I'm so into that. I want to get better at art. I want to enter Art Quest. While I'm taking my vacation after Magical Girl May, I think I'm gonna really focus on making my art better. Bigger, better, faster, more. As my, my ceramics teacher used to say. His eyebrows are crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna draw them going off his face. Because I can. I'm in charge. Gotta get the essence of hat on here. Hang on. Ugh, I hate drawing hats. I'm so bad at it. Why is it going off to the side so much? Ugh, that's terrible. Hang on. It's terrible and I can't see shit. Good night. Thank you for all the foxes. Or are they doggos? Yeah, those are corgis. No, not corgis. The other one. Shibas. Here, hang on. Let's draw his hair. Let's draw his hair. And then we draw a hat. flying off of him. Because he's so into throwing this bomb. There we go. That's how you draw hats. You just, don't, actually. Hang on, that's, the back of it's fucking crazy. God. I'm thinking about physics. Give me one moment. Think about how little of the hat we'd be able to see. Okay, great. Hat handled. Twins draw something in 5 seconds that takes me a full day. Well, I'm gonna go play in traffic. Speed does not equal quality. Now, does it? Just because I can draw quickly doesn't mean I'm drawing it right. I am, but it doesn't mean I am. It just means I've taught myself to draw quickly. And honestly, I'm quite jealous of people who actually need to take quite a long time to draw something right. Because they usually have a better grasp on, like, proportions and anatomy. You know? Allison praises my ability to draw poses quite a lot, but I feel like it's not good enough. Waluigi's overalls are crazy because they're like really high all the way around. I feel like a lot of overalls like are only high in the front, you know, but his are whack. What a goofy man. That's why I like him. That's a great face, too. I'm annoyed that I'm so much better at drawing cartoon faces than anime faces, because I want to draw hot anime boys. Look, they're like a weird texture, too. Like, I guess you could read that as denim. They feel like fucking weird rubber. His funny little clogs. Which we're gonna make way cloggier. No one can stop me. I'm in charge. I'm the artist. Did everybody watch my song? I uploaded a song. Did you all see my song? Was your ceramics teacher Daft Punk? No. I think he'd appreciate that compliment, though. I walked away for a bit and I come back to that hyper-detailed Waluigi face. Mr. Mime texture, you're so right. Petition for Waluigi to be the secret boss on a new Punch-Out game? That would be awesome. Imagine boxing this guy. It'd be exactly like in Wii boxing, like Wii Punch-Out. You know, the Irish one? And how he's always like, woo, I'm over here now. And then he's like, ooh, woo, and now I'm over here now. Like, it'd be like that. Except it's Waluigi. He would also wear a crazy singlet, you can tell. This guy's a freak. This guy's a freak / affectionate. But yeah, did you all see my song? Yes, it was very anxiety core, affectionate. That's good. That's what I wanted. You all might remember that I had mentioned, and especially if you watch my Project Sekai videos, I'd mentioned how I really liked I Hate You by Eggton, which is a similar kind of anxiety core sort of deal. That's a really good Waluigi. Shit. I've got a future drawing Mario characters, it seems. Jesus, I'm really impressed with myself. Anyway, Eggton's got I Hate You, which is a song I've considered covering. A little fun fact, a little bonus factoid. But, and I've mentioned before that there's a comment on that video of Eggton's song, being like, I hope that this becomes popular enough that people So I needed to think about the physics of his gamma signs, his upside down L's. I needed to figure out like which way they go. That this song becomes so popular that it just becomes like that Eleanor, the vocalist, just gets a reputation for like this like dark and edgy kind of stuff. And I was like, I quite like that idea, and that's why I made my song. Because I wanted to, like, perpetuate this idea of Eleanor having this really dour kind of discography to her. Especially because I feel like it fits her voice quite well. I've tried to use her before, and she just didn't sound quite right. And I feel like she does sound better when you go in with a kind of a more low, like lower notes, slower notes, kind of a thing. So hang on, I want to make this look right. My favorite Irish mannerism. Ooh, I'm over here now. Don't you all remember every time how Jacksepticeye starts all his videos with top of the morning to you laddies? Oh, woo, I'm over here now. I gotta make this this fuse a little goofier if I'm gonna give him this much kind of happen in here. There we go. That's physics. Nice. Right, this arm. And then we can give him line art. It was not really my style. I prefer either cutesy music, light smut, or rock. Light smut? Like, just like audiobook porn? You know, I don't think we need to explore that sentence even further. I like a lot of different kinds of music, personally. I like some darker stuff. I like stuff you can dance to. I like sad stuff. I even like some country, you know, which I feel like is always the stipulation. It's like, what kind of music do you listen to? And it's anything but country, you know? Let's make some line art here. We're gonna have to move our Waluigi example over. He's in the way of some of our pictures' fingies. There he goes. God damn, this is a really good Waluigi. I'm not even mad, I'm just confused. And, you know, I want to try something. I'm gonna try... So usually I sketch with my pen at 25% size. But I'm gonna make it bigger. I'm gonna go with 45 size, and I'm wondering if this will facilitate a better use of line density. Or I'll just have really thick line art. Either or. Actually, maybe I'm gonna go with 35. There we go. You all see no difference, but I can. Gotta make sure his nose is right. Oh, I forgot his mustache! An incredibly important part of the Waluigi. His Salvador Dali stash. There we go. Now that's Waluigi. Hello, fellow twins enjoyer. Just the one. The one person in chat who is also a twins enjoyer. I need to listen to the song, but I did catch a little piece of it, and consider me a little jump scared by the angle a little bit in it. Thank you! I liked that part a lot. I put a lot of effort into it. Little bonus fact, I had to make the thumbnail specific, because I didn't want to spoil the jump scare part, for lack of any better word for it. And so I had to draw a whole, like, another piece for her, for the thumbnail. And my idea for it was because throughout the song, I'm gonna add his like blue eyeliner parts in the coloring phase, by the way, in case you're wondering. Throughout the song, she's like got these fake smiles as she sings about all the people she hates at the like event that she's at or whatever. And my idea was for the I'm sorry, I was looking at Waluigi's eyes. Was for the thumbnail to be her giving you one of those fake smiles as she sings about you. I'll show you. Hang on. Let's open some pictures up real quick. No, we don't need to go with the small versions, I suppose. Okay, so yeah, we've got one of the pictures of her smiling at people, and then I'll grab the thumbnail as well. Alright. So yeah, throughout the song we see her giving these like fake smiles to people that she doesn't like. And then the thumbnail, and it is her giving a fake smile to you. This is what they all see. I think she looks really pretty in this thumbnail as well. Golly gosh, I'm real happy with this nose. So yippee for me. Back to Waluigi. He's got blue eyeliner? What a diva. It's either that or he's dog tired. Maybe a little bit from column A, a little bit from column B. Yeah, I'm focusing on line thickness. You'll have to be forgiving of me if I go quiet while doing these delicate details. Oh my god. Why is his mustache darker than the rest of his hair? What do you think? What do you think the answer is? Do you think one of them is fake? Or do you think he's just like, he's also like, why is my mustache so much darker than the rest of my hair? That's so stupid. Why not both? Exactly. I wish I could remember how to say it in Spanish. I always think of that old taco commercial. His pants, his hair. Duh. He paints his hair. Porque no las dos. That's what it is. Yeah, I can never remember the porque part, which is, hilarious, because that's one of the only things in Spanish I actually consistently remember. My big issue, I can't remember if I've mentioned this on stream before. My big issue is, so I've been trying to learn Japanese to some degree for a while now. And I've picked up a decent amount of it. So the problem is, if I try to say something in Spanish, my brain will default to Japanese if I know that word instead. Like, at work, I was trying to talk to a gal, and I was like, oh, I should ask for the color blue in Spanish, because she's a Spanish speaker. And she knows English. You know, certainly, I could have also just been like, blue, please. And I think I did. Because I was like, I should ask for blue in Spanish. And I thought, ow. Which is it in Japanese. And then I was like, what is it in Spanish? I don't remember anymore. So I gave up and I said blue. And that worked. Yeah, that's my fun life of being monolingual, but knowing a little bit of two different languages. Hang on, I'm gonna fuck around. I'm gonna do something. It requires concentration. I'm zooming out, if you want to know, to see if I like it. Because if you do art this close all the time, this is great for getting those little details, but no one is looking at your picture like that. People will be looking at your art at a distance. So it's smart to zoom out. So one, you can see the full thing for yourself, and two, see just how valuable whatever tiny detail it is you're stressing over really is. It's actually brown, but he dyes it to match Wario. Twins at an inconvenience. Porqué. The big problem is I'm quite bad at a proper, like, pronunciation. I can't roll my R's. So I sound very white when trying to speak Spanish. So yeah. I'm very aware of that. What way does his L go? Okay, okay. Great. Oh no, should I do that to the hat too? Hang on. Yeah, I think that does look good. Alright. Great, okay. I also can't roll my R's, but when there are two of them in a word, like RR, how often does that happen in Spanish? I was like, is that a pretty common kind of deal? I know that's kind of a weird question. If someone were to ask me, how often are there, like, duplicate letters next to each other in English, I'd be like, I don't know. Relatively frequently, I guess. It happens often enough that they needed to teach us that you don't say the words, like, the letters twice, you know? In, like, elementary school. You don't say little, you just say little. Hang on, I did that the wrong way. Oops. Trying to scoot over. Focusing on details. I become the least chatty when I'm doing line art. It's Magical Girl May is almost here. Tomorrow's the last day of April. I have no ideas what to do for stream tomorrow as well. Thoughts on Waluigi x Rosalina? Don't like it because Waluigi should be shipped with me. No. I think it's fine. I'm really toxic in that I actually prefer Waluigi with Daisy, but also I prefer Luigi with Daisy. I like both. So, yeah, Waluigi x Rosalina, it's certainly interesting to put this freak with a literal goddess. That's pretty hilarious in its own right. But I just think him and Daisy is more interesting and funny. But then also, Daisy x Luigi is OTP, so yeah. Oops. But yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do for stream tomorrow. Do you guys have any thoughts or suggestions? I was thinking about maybe doing like a death battle. Like I choose two characters and we decide who would win in a fight. Does that sound fun? I think that sounds fun. Let's do that. We'll do that tomorrow. Assuming nothing goes wrong. And You know, I don't like blow up or anything on my way home from work. We'll do that. Thanks for your input, guys. Me asks you what you want to do. Also, me immediately answers for you. The thing is, I've got lots of ideas for Magical Girl May, but we're not there yet. So, including quite a big little art project we'll be doing together throughout the month. So, look forward to that. Fun fact, tomorrow is Valpurgisnacht! Oh my gosh! That's really exciting. What should we do to celebrate that? What's a Valpurgisnacht-esque kind of celebration? Allison and I collect a bunch of flowers, run out into the forest, and do a dance. No. No, that's not right. Are Waluigi Wario related to Mario and Luigi? No. So so Mario and Luigi are brothers. Wario and Waluigi are their rivals. Also, Wario and Waluigi are also not related. So there you go. Too common for my inconvenience. My buddy no longer was a cashier at a gas station. A Spanish speaker came in and was asking for Marlboro Rojo Grande. He is very white and didn't know what he was saying. Oh, that's Big Reds. So, I just blurted out Marlboro Red 100s. Yeah, I know just enough Spanish that if someone asks me a question in Spanish, I can understand them. I cannot reply, though. That's the thing. Like, more often than not, you listen to Spanish, and if you are an English speaker, like, Spanish and English have pretty similar roots. So, it's easier if you can read it, but hearing it, assuming they speak slowly for you, you can usually suss out what all you're doing. But yeah, I don't know how to reply in Spanish more often than not. Like, I remember, at work I say goodbye, and I'm like, adios, and a lady nearby, she's like, habla español? And I go, no! And then I don't know how she said it, but she asks, oh, so you can only speak a little Spanish? And I reply with, poquito! So yeah. I wish I knew it better. I took a lot of Spanish classes in school. The problem is, they did quite a shit job of actually teaching me anything. So, just enough that I am where I'm at now, and, I guess I'm a big girl. If I really want to learn more Spanish, I could take that into my own hands. The problem is I'm also a weeb, and I'm too busy trying to learn Japanese. Haha, power outage could not keep me away this time. I feel like you have power outages every day of your life, One Taker. I hope that stops, and I hope I'm wrong in that assessment. But yeah, welcome. Glad you were able to make it, despite the power outages. Wait, which timeline are we in? How many times have Homura gone back? We're in the timeline where Homura has succeeded, and Madookami has, taken away all the sadness from the magical girls. Before the movie, but after the finale of Season 1. That's where we are. Fun fact, I actually haven't seen the movie. I ought to. I read the manga for it, but haven't actually seen the movie. Also, you can say axolotl in Spanish. It's ajolote. Ajolote. That's cute. That's way cuter. I don't know about what Valpurgisnacht is. Celebrating the I do know, Cereza says, that Valpurgisnacht is celebrating the transition from winter to spring. One of the activities includes dancing and bonfires. So yeah, we gotta collect a bunch of flowers, go into the forest, dance, and also, light something on fire. It's about damn time. It's cold today. It's rainy weather as well, which is stupid, but I'm so fucking sick of it being cold. It's been the longest winter in the world. In the history of the universe, and I'm so over it. So, get excited for, inevitably, for summer to finally roll in, and for me to bitch about being hot. I'm just never comfortable, and I'm not happy about it either. In my senior year, our Spanish teacher had gotten us set up on Duolingo and wanted us to do it every day. He even made a deal. Anyone who did Duolingo every day for the whole year without missing a day didn't have to take the final. Guess who didn't take the final? Yeah, that's easy stuff. Man, if you get given an ultimatum like that, you would better golly dang old take it. We're doing another thing. Hang on. Can we ban humidity? I say we can ban humidity, but that's up to God to actually follow through on. I'd say Twitch watch party, but that would definitely nuke your Twitch. Probably YouTube too, depending on how ruthless they be. I don't know, it seems like you can just play full TV shows, and Twitch won't fucking care, based on how some dime a dozen reactors make their millions. But I'm not very fun to watch TV with. I'm not good at going, ooh, ah, I'm much better watching something live. I have actively been told that I am a great audience member for live shows. But, less so for, yeah, for TV. Hang on, I'm doing this blind. Here's hoping that lined up good. I could have just made myself a be able to see layer, but that would have been for weenie poos and smart people. It's not bad. I can make it better. One layer was it on? Okay. And I want this to come to a cleaner point. Great! It's Waluigi. Let's give him color. Twin showing off. Watch me make this art with my eyes closed. Let's do that really quick. On another layer. I'm gonna close my eyes, and you're gonna just have to trust me. And I'm gonna draw myself. I'll zoom in. Okay. Let's see how this goes. Why did I start with my bangs? That's such a weird decision. That's my necklace part. How'd it go? Not bad! Wow! That's downright decent. Cause you are 70% bangs. It's not facing the direction I anticipated. But that ain't bad. Get you an artist who can do both. How is this still bumming around? I swear, my sketch layer never truly went away. Alright. What layer am I on over here? I guess I'll just keep you. I'll keep that over there. Yeah, but for the Madoka movie. Yeah, I just don't think I'd be very entertaining, unfortunately. Hello. I'd like to watch it, but I'd probably do it on my own. I'm hiding my interesting cool layers, because otherwise they'll make coloring him a nightmare. They'll come back, don't worry. Time to figure out what exactly is Waluigi's skin tone. I think that, because there's a lot of variety on characters in the third dimension like this. So, and for a rampant color picker like me, it can be a real pain sometimes. I've got a small rant. I've got a rant. Imagine that's how Doug draws twins, probably. Twins, what were you doing? What were you during high school photos? Is that hyperpigmentation? Yeah, small rant. And I may have ranted about this before. This is a video by an artist who's quite popular. It's Ray. But actually, now they go by June. It's Ginja Ninja, I believe, is the name they go by on YouTube. They make art content, and there's a video of theirs that fucking jostles my jimmies. It's one of their newer ones, and it's... yeah, that's Waluigi. It's, making myself learn color theory, and I think they just went with that title because at the time, color theory was like the hot button discussion topic on TikTok or some shit. And I think that jostles my jimmies about that video to the point that I really contemplated making like a response, and I opted against it. But they did not learn anything about color theory. They're like, I'm gonna learn about color theory, and then they proceed to not explore how colors interact with each other at all, and also to chalk up color theory as learning how to use colors without using the color picker. You know, like this tool that I use to like grab colors all the time. They're like, that's what color theory is me being able to just find the right shade of orange on my own. And it's like, no, that's not. That is not what color theory is. It's a fine ability to work on, a bit unnecessary, because we do live in a digital age where color picking is right there, but, you know, to each their own. But yeah, they just completely missed what color theory actually is, and they're quite popular, and so I'm like, cool, I'm so glad for a bunch of people to now not understand what color theory is, and that for them to think, color theory is knowing how to get the right shade of Waluigi purple without just selecting it with the fucking tool at my disposal. And so, clearly it riled me up, because I care. But I can't let myself care that much, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. And that's it, end rant. Send... tweet. Except actually don't send any tweets. Ray seems swell. Like, fine. I don't think they meant any negative by it, and by all means I don't think anyone picked up on this magical, oh, color theory is color picking kind of bullshit that I got myself all wound up about anyway. So, irrelevant. But it wound me up. Like so many things do. Oh, he's got thicker eyebrows than I gave him. I don't care. Let's get this in here. Pretty. Pretty boy. Nice. Let's get the inside of his mouth. It's a little too purpley. There we go. So basically, they just learned how to make coloring harder for themselves. Yeah, and it's like I said, it could be a valuable lesson to, like, kind of teach yourself, you know, how to find colors more appropriately. But, it's just not at all what color theory is. And also, I see no value in going out of your way. I don't dislike Ginja Ninja. I think their content is a little annoying. I think they do a whole lot of nothing, and then go on and on about how, oh, I was so nervous, but I'm also super extroverted, and it's like, just, you're a good artist. I don't know why you're so wound up about all this. But, that's just like a clash of personalities. They seem like a fine person. Like, just because if I had to sit next to them on a bus, I might end up annoyed. Doesn't mean I wish ill on Ginja Ninja. But, fuck, what was I saying? Something interesting and cool. Oh yeah, I see no value in going out of your way to make art more difficult, when it doesn't have to be. Like, you don't mix your own paint colors anymore, now do you? You buy paints. And so, why are we acting like being able to color pick is a crime? When it's like, well, you're not even mixing, you should just have, just use, like, a blue and a red, and you want to get this shade of purple, okay, now you choose a brush where you can, like, mix them and try to mix your blue and red. Like, no one does that. I only do things in this old traditional way because it's the right way. I mean, if that is what feels more comfortable for you, get it, girl, do it, hell yeah. But feeling like, oh, that's cheating otherwise is, I think, asinine, and is just an attempt to gatekeep art. When, at the end of the day, if you feel like you need to gatekeep art, that just tells me you're not actually a good artist. Because a good artist, can be given all the shortcuts in the world, and, like, they still produce gorgeous art, and just... Whatever. Whatever, man. Whatever. I'm on too high of a soapbox. So, do y'all think the blue under his eyes is makeup or bruises? Bruises! I think he's really tired, and then he shittily kind of covers it up with makeup, but it doesn't help. Like, it's like... You know how I'll draw hot boys? And they'll have, like, lots of lines under their eyes and shit? That's what Waluigi looks like. Oh, I need his stupid shoes. I love them. They're really shiny. That's a really nice texture. I'm gonna go with this more kind of yellowy color I just pulled over here. Kind of a nice sort of... true orange. Little bonus fact! Fun fact! Fun fact. Okay, so I saw an argument happening on Twitter, like, fucking months ago. And it was arguing, is Deoxys red or orange? Let me grab Deoxys. Pokemon! Deoxys! Let me grab Deoxys. Okay. Copy. We're having a tangential moment. Deoxys. Okay, and the argument was, is Deoxys red or orange? And first things first, it really depends on what you're watching or how you're engaging with Deoxys, because the anime really likes making Deoxys a lot more red than the Ken Sugimori art, as evidenced by anime. That's very red. This, however... so, is it red? Is it orange? It's both. It's red-orange. Because true orange is kind of like Waluigi's shoes. The color of oranges. The fruit. And I know if we think of orange, we tend to think of a warmer orange. For some reason. This feels really yellow-orange. Even though that is more of a true orange, an actual yellow-orange is more like that. This kind of peachy, creamy sort of color. So yeah, Deoxys is red-orange. This is color is a spectrum, not binary. It's why my color wheel over here to the right looks like this, and doesn't look like, this. They all bleed together for a reason. So yeah, Deoxys is red-orange. I saw it described best as, he's red, but old. Like, old red. And we can even settle it right here, right now. You can see how close he's dead center. Red-orange. If you increase the saturation, then you can see it really clearly how red-orange he is. He's incredibly red-orange. And that's the, oh, there you go. So now you can tell all your friends, hey, what color is Deoxys? It's red-orange, did you know? Am I on my color? Okay, good. I was gonna say, am I on my color line? I need that. It's the same shade of yellow as his buttons, so I'm actually gonna make sure I pull that same exact same yellow. And then that's nice. And we're gonna grab that yellow and just make it desaturated for the wick of his little bomb. And bring all my exciting lines back. I gotta color in this the fuse though, like the fuse of his fire. So let me do that. He's Mandarin. He's those baby oranges. He's a grapefruit. Oh, I've also got to add something. Now he's really come to life. Let's get this fire hip happening. We're gonna do that in this really nice way that will incorporate the yellow that he's got. Hang on, I'm focusing, because these lines are messy, so I can't just fill bucket this. Okay, nice. And then we're going to select our layer, which does include everything, and we're gonna, oh, brilliant. We're gonna grab an orange from his shoes, and do this. Fucking gorgeous. Oh my god, I'm so good at art. Wow, this is a big one. Ruth says, the thing is that I do find it useful to understand colors beyond the picker, but when I only use the picker, I'm not forced to think about the colors in that way, or practice how they really interact with each other. And I think the latter is the heart of the argument. I've seen plenty of videos that talk about that being a part of color studies. I don't think June is particularly unique or gatekeeping in that sense. It's true. I worried that others would take June's words inaccurately. I definitely don't think June was trying to gatekeep art by any means. I found the video a little light on the detail. That's true. Like, June's art was very pretty, but for pitching it as June studying color theory, I wish they had gone over, like, what they actually studied. Beyond the, and I don't know, I think June tries to keep it pretty light, pretty quick for their videos, so I can understand, but I don't know, I wouldn't have minded a good video essay out of them. Should the bomb have eyes? It's not a bomb, so we're gonna pass on that. But so Ruth, as on the topic of color theory and such, I like this topic, so I'm gonna keep talking about it. Hang on, let me get ready to do some shading for our boy. I'm gonna go with, yeah, blue shading. Yes, blue shading. Okay. Sorry, I was thinking. So yes, so I have, as someone who uses a color picker pretty regularly for my art, and who has also had to mix paints across a good handful of different mediums. Oils, watercolors, fucking ceramic colors. There is value in being able to know how to find the color you want, of learning that color wheel, and how the different colors interact with each other. There absolutely is value to that. I'm gonna get rid of all my colors, so I can just kind of play with this line art. So I super duper agree. I just don't think it's color theory. At least not in the way that June approached it. I think it is an element of color theory, but June kind of skirted around the real core of color theory, which I think is the only reason why it wound me up so much, because, again, because I quite care about colors and their theories. And that may have been something that they just omitted from the video. Like we both said, we kind of wish June had gone further in to the topic. So maybe they did kind of grasp all that and was just like, normies aren't gonna care. Because I think June also recognizes that they've got quite a decent normie-sized audience. So, which makes talking about art a lot harder. Because people who aren't into art, they kind of don't get everything. Like, they understand, obviously, but they don't get, like, what does or does not necessitate, like, overt discussion, you know? They'll also, people who aren't artists will also have the tendency to kind of downplay a lot of art, and I don't think they mean it in a mean-spirited way, but it does definitely happen pretty decently, where non-artists just don't understand how hard some things are, and I think a lot of artists end up getting their feelings hurt by non-artists not knowing better. But now we've kind of wandered into a whole different conversation, haven't we? Like at work, I've got a fella who knows I do art. He has actually commissioned me a couple times. And today he's like, can you do this kind of a thing? And I'm like, I'm not very good at symmetry. So, I don't know, probably not. And he's like, oh, what, you only do doodles? No. That's so rude. Like, obviously I'm not gonna say my art's just doodles. That's incredibly rude. I make art. And he doesn't seem to understand that how uncouth that is. To say, so you just make doodles. No, I make art. I do not just scribble in a notebook. I make illustrations. Illustrations worthy of getting paid to do them. Full comics with narratives. Just because it's not this one thing you wanted. Doesn't mean... And I don't even think he would get that doodle is such a rude word to accuse someone of in the art world. Maybe that's me being overly sensitive, though. What do you guys think? I'm not looking at you too much. I'm yapping a lot. Yeah. Had to stand up for a second. Hopefully didn't miss any meaningful life lessons that could fix my art forever. I don't think so. I'm not very good at giving art lessons, despite how often I've done it for you guys, funnily enough. I could be an art teacher. The problem is, I don't know. I think you need to be, like, happy with the art you make in order to properly teach people, and I always feel like I can improve. I guess we all do. I hope we all do. Man, gotta think about this intense-ass lighting I've opted to go for. Sorry, I needed to really focus on those little details. Okay, hang on. I'm thinking about his chest and how light would... How much of it would be illuminated. I think, like, that. Yeah, that's where his titties end. They cast a shadow. Huh. I think you're a little sensible on this topic. I think you mean sensitive. I'd love to be called sensible, but I don't think I've ever been called sensible once in my life. This would certainly be a first. I think this fella just tends to rile me up. And he doesn't mean to do it, I don't think. I think he's just a stupid little boy. He doesn't understand how to flirt. If you're part of my Discord, this is where you'll be going, oh, this guy! Yeah, a coworker once was fully convinced that art was something you were born with, and I had to be like, no, you can start it literally anytime you want. I know, right? They think it's some magical, gift. I remember that in MASH at one point. It's a great episode, great, and an even greater scene. So, Charles Emerson Winchester performs surgery on a young man, and it goes well. He ends up saving the guy's legs, but one of his arms is rendered unusable, or at least severely damaged. And unfortunately, that man wakes up and it reveals that he plays the piano. And so losing an arm is a humongous deal. And at the end of the episode, Charles brings him into the officers' club tent and urges him to not to continue to pursue his art as a musician, saying that there are bringing him music intended to be played with one arm, and he chooses to continue to play, and he plays for Charles, and it's great. 10 out of 10 episode. I love MASH. But the thing is, Charles says a couple of times, you have this gift. And Charles is like, I wanted more than anything else to be able to play, but I do not have the gift, so I became a doctor. And it's like, I'm like, Charles, you this magical gift, and obviously I can't actually talk to the character, but I'm like, this magical gift is not some born genetic. It is the willingness to try, the willingness to learn, to improve. Still a really stunning scene and episode, so whatever. But I'm just like, no, Charles, you can play the piano too if you want. You could be an art teacher, but you have to teach art to kids. Ugh. Twins, Overhypen, says, just remembered something. One day at work, we were having a very slow day and I was bored, so I was drawing on a piece of paper. One of the managers was doing a walkthrough and cleaning up. He ended up grabbing the paper I drew on and threw it away. I told him I was drawing, and all he said was, you shouldn't be doodling on the job. I understand, I should have been doing something more productive, but that hurt a lot. That do suck a whole lot. What a jerk. What a bunk-ass manager. A cool manager would have been. I have doodled at work a good handful of times, and my managers keep them. I drew a creepy looking clown kid once on a post-it note. The manager took that post-it note and I just stuck it to his monitor. So now it just hangs there on his monitor, and so that really sucks a whole lot. I hope you can find a place where you at least have a manager that's decent enough to not treat your art so poorly. To at least be like, hey, do you want to keep that? And if you're like, it's just a little doodle, whatever, then they could be like, alright, but if you're like, oh yeah, I'll hold on to this, sorry. Alright, cool. What is wrong with this? I must not have colored in his L's. Hang on. I will get that. Make sure I don't forget that. Is this how light works? Yes. Yes, for the most part. Yes, enough. You're not born an artist. No one. Born with a brush, pencil, stylus, etc. in their hand. It's an investment. Time and energy. Yeah, some have better affinity for it, but everyone has to practice. Exactly. And sometimes being naturally gifted at it means you end up falling behind because you become complacent. I'm so good, I don't even need to try. And then somebody else suddenly, they do try. And you can see, oh no. Well, they're a lot better than me. But you don't know well, I've always just done it and it's been exactly what I wanted. And I don't know how to, change that. I don't know how to learn. So sometimes being naturally, you know, having a bit more of a quick affinity for an art can actually end up being a hindrance sometimes. Great. It's Waluigi. I think Aaron puts it best, honestly, in one of the Game Grumps' Mario Mario Galaxy videos, and I've used it for an end gag before. It's, what, you think I came out the pussy drawn fucking Mozart? This is true. Yeah, let me color in this L over here. His hat's also a little goofy doofy. And just clean that up a little bit. Nice. Cool. And now we add some light, and we've got Waluigi. Saw some TikToks of people saying or buying expensive supplies to make art, and actual artists coming in saying you don't need to do that. You can use what you already have to make art. It's true. It's true. I don't know how popular he still is. I used to watch Drawn with Jazza. Hi, Vincent. What you doing? Oh, now not talking to me, I guess. Drawn with Jazza. And he's a great artist. And he has so many videos being like, I'm gonna draw a picture with, like, Crayolas. I'm gonna use shitty crayons. I'm gonna use the cheapest pencils I can find. I'm gonna use the worst paper I can find. And he did that very consistently to show that you do not need to spend a whole bunch of money on the most expensive things in order to make good art. And I respected that. I think he still makes videos. I just don't know. Yes. Okay. We're going to full send it on the yellow. Oh, I didn't shade in his teeth at all. That's a little weird looking. I'll fix that. Here's a trick to really intense lighting like this. Add some rim lighting on the edge of the darkest shadows. Add a little bit of rim lighting. It'll really make everything pop. That's a little thick. I want to make that one a little bit thinner. Nice. Just a little bit around the edge to show that the light is kind of wandering across the third dimension. There are better artists that can absolutely explain that better. I guess we're gonna do it like this. Let me add a little bit of yellow on damn near every little piece of Waluigi. Haven't watched Jazza in ages. I think my favorite one was where he used a Crayola art box, but along with using all the supplies in the box, he uses the box itself. Oh, that does sound cool. He was so creative. He's the reason why I say higgledy-piggledy. You may have noticed sometimes I'm like higgledy-piggledy. I got that from him. He had made like a critter, like a fake animal. And it was supposed to be quite intimidating, but he describes it, he's like, it does not get up to higgledy-piggledy. And I was so tickled with the word that I was like, well, I absolutely need to incorporate higgledy-piggledy into my normal life. And I have. I've done it successfully. God damn. It's a really good Waluigi. Not to toot my own horn, but I'm just real dang proud of myself. We're gonna do something with that lake, don't worry. It'll be cool. Hang on, actually, that one will be like this. Sorry, I realized I got kind of quiet. You know how I get. The deeper into a picture we go, the more likely Twins is to shut the fuck up already. Glowing demon teeth. That looks awesome, thank you. I am tempted to get you started on this, but I'm at work. Oh, get us started on Sasuke versus Naruto or whatever. I would not be able to, join in the argument, so it would be you and one taker, doing a 1v1. So, yeah, I've not seen a single sentence, a single sentence of Naruto. That's nice. Right! The teeth. Shading teeth is scary. Because I did it once, and my cousin described it as it looks like the teeth are concave in. It was Sans, I remember. And it annoyed me because he was right. I was like, shit, it does! So now I get all in my own head about it. Oh, here, let me add a little bit of this. Over here. It's Waluigi! Wowie wow willikers. Let me add one final little special bullshit to this shading here. Let's see if I can make this look right. I'm thinking. Hang on, she's cooking with gas. Give me a moment. Hey, you started the stream and went, I'm gonna draw a man, you know? That's all we can do in life, isn't it? Be compelled to draw a man. And then also, we gotta be careful with this one though. I need a fiddle duck with my lines. It gets the job done. And final thing, let's add a little bit of spice to his bomb up here. Yeah. Hang on. That's not quite right. There we go! A little bit of spice And it's Waluigi! Yay! One really solid Waluigi. I'm gonna post this to Blue Sky. I don't want to post it to Twitter because, one, I'm still fairly certain they, like, use your art for AI, question mark? I don't know. But, I don't know, there's a part of me that's worried people would be like, that's just, like it's too close to canon Waluigi that obviously AI would be like, I'm gonna steal that one. I don't know. What do you think? Maybe I'll just post it to Twitter. Maybe I'm getting too in my own head about Twitter and its AI bullshit. Hang on, let me get rid of all this stuff I don't need. There we go. Goodbye, me. We don't need you down there anymore. Nice, and I'll be able to upload. And the blind self-portrait. You know what? I'll upload the blind self-portrait too. Why not? Waluigi. Float. And then also we'll do one with a background. But not this. We need a much cooler background. Hang on. This has actually already a pretty solid color. Yeah, fuck it, we'll just go with this background. And then Waluigi. Just normal Waluigi. Nice. And then there's me. We'll at least save it. Maybe I'll upload it to the, Me, I drew this with my eyes closed. That's the title. Wow, there we go! What a good old art day. I don't know, I don't want to use Twitter. That's so valuable and fair. The problem is most people are still using Twitter. You know? Cereal Dust Green finally wins. You're so right. That is what it is. Does this in an hour and a half while mine is still unfinished for 2 months. It's not how fast you go. It's how good it is. You should be feeling bad because mine looks so much better than yours. No. Thanks for being here. I had a lot of fun. I'm glad that Waluigi came out looking so nice. Didn't have that on my bingo card. But yeah, thanks for being here. I'll see ya on the flip side. Make smart choices. Do good things. Eat your vegetables. And drink some water. Goodbye!